Mbale and Dr. Choa Yabari. I want to tell you, good morning, my fellow people of Mezam. This is Dr. Cho Ayaba. Singer ni Sunday Nji ni fun Anyi sang September 2024. Ma tong on smoba tine Mezama. Mamu ram ni karai kengam ni ram la tang zu shi ine. My fellow people of Mezam, I will make this statement partially in Mankon. It's a Ngemba language, and I know most of you understand Ngemba. Today in Bamenda, I understand that there are thousands of armed robbers, colonial murderers, colonial gendarmes, colonial bees, colonial armies, those who burn homes, those who kill our people, those who do kale, those who rape. They have been placed everywhere around Bamenda, and I know around many other cities in Ambazonia. I heard the colonial plantation officer called the colonial governor. He told people that the reason for this presence is because they want to guarantee security for our children to go back to school. If you are in charge of a land, do you need to provide the army, the gendarmes, the bees to guarantee security? What has happened to the police? What has happened to the law? These barbarians have lost control of our land. Now, this is what we must know. Schools in Ambazonia will begin on the 2nd of October. Every Ambazonian child should return to school from the 2nd of October. Their security will not be guaranteed by our forces. It will be guaranteed by the law of our land. It will be guaranteed by the fact that our parents will believe in the authenticity of our calendar school year. It will be strange to believe that you take armed robbers and put in front of a bank to provide security to the bank. I don't think any investor, I don't think anybody will trust that bank to come and make any investment, do banking, or any other transaction. Cameroon's colonial forces are armed robbers. They are murderers. You cannot trust in those who have murdered Mami Api, those who murdered Lion, those who murdered Anna, those who kill your children, carry their bodies and display them at Aziri or roundabout to provide your children security. A few days ago, these armed robbers, these murderers, they went to Aziri New Church, break into the school and took it as a military base. Can you trust those kind of people to provide security for your children? Forget about the war for the moment. Even before the war, did you trust them? Today in Bamenda, across different checkpoints that they have mounted, they are asking for colonial ID cards. Those who don't have, they are extorted. Do you think that's providing security? Let me tell you why these people are wearing those uniforms. Do you think these people can fight for Mr. Biya? Do you think these people are willing to die, to even lose one hair for Cameroon? They are not. Who wants to die for Cameroon? For 63 years, two illiterate schoolmasters, Ayijo and Biya, have ruled Cameroon. Who wants to die for a man who killed his own wife? For a man who killed the husband of the current wife? Who wants to die for a man whose life is based on murdering people, looting treasuries, has bankrupted his own country, destroyed everything that made Cameroon unique, including football? Who wants to die for that person? Let me tell you why these people wear the uniform. It's a job. They need money. In a country where no industries can employ you, in a country where you go to school and the certificate has no meaning, where is the easiest way to get a job? You join the police, you join the army. It is not for the salary, for the extortion, the roadblocks that they set up to extort money. They divide the money between various commanders. These murderers are the face of the disgrace of Africa. These killers are the face of the humiliation of both Cameroon and Ambazonia and black people. In Burkina Faso, in Niger, young soldiers have risen up, taking over the country from the hands of tyrants and butchers. And they are marching their country forward. Old gangsters, they are there harassing people in the neighborhood, in the quarters, getting monies to go and buy food. Nyam fukas. Nyam fukas. You people should hear me. Nyam fukas. We should never, if we have dignity, allow ourselves to be ruled by these nyam fukas. My people, they say, oh, we cannot start schools in October. Schools usually start in September. What is the law that says schools must start in September? In South Africa, schools begin in January to December, 4 terms. 4 terms. So where is the rule that says schools must begin in September? In Japan, one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, schools begin in April. April has 3 terms. In India, it begins in June to April the next year, 2 semesters. In South Korea, schools begin in March to February the next year. So where is the rule that tells us that, oh no, schools must begin in September? The only reason schools are beginning because we still act as though we were colonies of Western countries, to the extent that we tailor our school year to fit their own. And some make the argument that, well, we have to begin school so that we are in line with the calendar of foreign universities. Do you think an American is studying thinking that they are going to apply to a university in Biafra to go and continue education? Do you think a Japanese is studying thinking, oh yeah, let me put my educational calendar to fit with that of the United States so that we will fly and go and continue? Why not build your own to be productive? Why not build your own to produce assets rather than liabilities? To produce children who are able to immediately combine sodium and chlorine and give you common salt and give mama in the room, in the kitchen to cook. You know? These people are cowards. In Chile, schools begin in March to December. In Australia, schools begin in January to December, has 4 terms. In New Zealand, it begins in January. And this is the best. You heard of Singapore? You heard of Singapore? Singapore in the 50s had the same GDP and economic level of development as most African countries. Now Singapore is at the top. Singapore is at the top. Schools begin in March. That is a place where they've taken palm and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar industry, far bigger than the economies of many African countries combined. Our school calendar must be totally distinct from that of those who have murdered, occupied our land, and taken us as slaves. Cameroon does not believe we are humans. They have virtually no respect for you and myself. If you pass through those checkpoints, it's French. How intoxicating that would be. Just imagine that you're living in Chomba and the people who control are all from Bali. The language spoken is from Bali. How will you feel? We have some sense of pride in ownership. We have some sense of pride in being who we are. All across Ambazonia, these people in Boya, they murdered school children. They cannot guarantee your security. The only people who can guarantee your security are the Ambazonian people. And that security will not be guaranteed with police. It will not be guaranteed with the army. It will be guaranteed with an understanding that doing right and doing just is the right thing to do. It will be guaranteed in the understanding that thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. It will be guaranteed with the understanding that you shall not litter the street with trash. It's an education, it's a mindset. It's not physical present, it's not physical infrastructure. So my people, the colonial governor, a citizen from Cameroon, has lost the power to dictate the laws that will operate in Ambazonia. We must take control. We must, if we want to be completely free, undermine the authority of these Nyamfukas who entered our country 63 years ago and have scattered families. Mama is in America. Papa is in the village. The daughter is in Australia. The son is in France. Families have been broken because people are running left to right just to survive. The core of every society is the family. Being unable to even sit together, plan together, speak together, be happy together is the worst thing that can ever happen to every society. Our culture has been taken over, and Wafo has become an agent of the enemy. Use the Mancom Palace to fly the Cameroon flag. An abomination. An abomination. A disgrace to the bravery of the Mancon people. Think about it. That the custodians of our culture, the people who should protect our land, the people who should protect our food, our language, our way of life, have sold themselves to the enemy. What have they gotten back? Has the enemy given them good hospitals? Do you go to the general hospital in Victoria, in Boya, or in Bamenda and feel like you are in a place where you can be treated? Don't you want to be in a country where you enter into a hospital, you feel already hope that whatever disease you have, you will be treated? Don't you want to live in a country where you go into the hospital, you don't need to be calling the neighbor to borrow money, that you will be treated for free, that you will go and receive medication from the pharmacy for free, because we must have developed an insurance scheme that guarantees the public safety and health of every Ambazonian? You don't want your children to go to school free? You don't want your children to go to school and get books from the library rather than you wasting small money to go and buy books left and right. You don't want that kind of a system. You don't want your child to have a computer at home. That's why we are fighting. That is what we call the independence. Within that independence, all of these possibilities in a land flowing with milk and honey. We can't raise the white flag. We can't simply give up because it's difficult. As I said the other day, a woman dies every minute giving birth in the world. Every minute a woman dies. You think women just give up giving birth because it's difficult? Because they die? Do you think we will surrender to this enemy and continue to be their slaves, to be treated like we owe them child support? My fellow people, this is the fight of this generation. If Pa Yaba, they all rose up and fought, maybe we wouldn't be fighting today. If we don't fight, Ye will rise up to continue to fight, and we must stop that. We cannot, in the 21st century, where other countries have advanced, we live in trash, in stinking cities. Roads are death traps where bike riders die. Taxis are all, you go into a pothole, you spend 20% of your income repairing a car. Everybody is thinking of escaping. We have the opportunity to change our destiny. We have the opportunity to alter the lives of millions of our people. And I ask you people to persevere, to be resilient, and reject all the propaganda that the enemy is propagating. Yes, our people are suffering not because we carried arms. It's because they took over our land. It's because they looted our treasury. It's because they destroyed our economy. They took away marketing board, UNVDA. They took away WADA. They took away PowerCam. It is because they destroyed our parliament in Boya, our house of chiefs. It is not because we carried arms. Where is the ring road? Has the ring road been stopped because we carried arms? Where are our industries? Why the Victoria deep sea port, the deepest natural deep sea port in West Africa? Where is the Tico airport? Where is the Manfe airport? The Bafut airport now is a military base. Just imagine the number of Ambazonians who would have been employed working at an international airport. Just imagine the thousands and thousands who will gain employment working at the Victoria deep sea port, where the income they earn will trickle down to children, to mothers, to grandparents. Just imagine the amount of tourism at gardens, at Seme Beach, in Manu. If we had airports, if we had good roads, if we had a health system that guaranteed the safety of tourists. Spain makes 30% of its GDP through tourism. Millions and millions of dollars are earned because people want to come and visit. Why do people fly to Spain? Sun. They fly to Spain because there is too much sun. Do you know the amount of sunlight that burns your face every day? Do you know you can turn that into an asset that invites people? You can spin that around into energy that lights every home. So you should not be burning Turukang every day because some barbarians entered your country, took it over. I've never seen any people in this world, not the Americans that their country was occupied, by the Brits, gave up because it was difficult. Winston Churchill did not say, "Oh, Adolf Hitler, it's so difficult. I don't want London to be bombed, so I give in." Pa Yaba went, and Wafo knows. He's sitting there. He knows. Pa Yaba went to fight in Second World War to defend freedom in Europe. Died when I was just 11. Lived without a father my entire life. No people give up because it's tough. No people surrender to traitors and murderers and looters because it's difficult. No people raise the white flag to their abusers because, they will stop abusing them. No woman who is raped should hang around with a rapist in exchange for security and safety. No one should tolerate their abusers because they are bullies. Real men and real women stand up against bullies. These bullies who have refused every opportunity, even in organizing free and fair elections. When teachers ask for simple constitutional amendments, lawyers ask for it. Where is Patasang? What crime did he commit? Where is Professor Awasum, a lecturer? Hey people, don't let these bullies tell you when to go back to school until they let all the teachers they have in jail free, Penn Terrence and the others. Who the hell do they think they are? Who the hell do these gangsters, bullies and murderers think we are? We own guns, as my Secretary General said, and very big guns. And every day that I live, that we live, we will work hard to make sure every Ambazonian is armed. And that these people who set up checkpoints to block your way around do not, never again, control your lives, make your laws, and decide how your court should be run. Ambazonia is free. We must secure that freedom. That is the job of this generation. And we cannot fail. They have promised if we fail, they will turn all of us into plantation workers, murder all those in jail. Refugees will never return. IDPs will be burnt in the forest. That is not the fate of a people born of the Kuvalekenyes.